Uh, drugs. Okay, that I think that's everywhere. That's correct. Come on. Drugs is there is a problem in the high desert with drugs. There's a problem with drugs everywhere, and this is not a current problem. It has been a continuous problem for years. When I was in high school, the saying on campus with all you kind of had the rednecks who were the short-haired guys that believed in the flag, wanted to go to Vietnam, all this kind of stuff. Believed in our country, blah 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 blah. Then you have the other ones, the long-haired hippie freaks is what we used to call them. Okay? And there used to be the saying, "There's no hope." They used to say, "There's no hope without dope." Okay. That was the saying. There's no hope without dope. But then on the other token, there was the other saying, there's only dopes use dope. Okay, now that was the mentality of the 60s. Okay, now the 60s was one of the heaviest times for experimental with drugs, especially with hallucinogenics, okay, LSD. Used to see people licking paper. Me, I was 17 years old, and what are you doing, man? At Griffith Park in Los Angeles, because I lived down with my grandmother in Los Angeles, so we used to go to Griffith Park, Hollywood, all this Hollywood buying, go down there to the movies, shows, all that stuff. And I used to see people, and they'd be walking down the street licking this paper. Thinking, what's up with that, man? Is this was it candy? Yeah, it was candy, all right. Yeah, okay. And believe it or not, LSD is coming back on the scene. So you have to be really careful what you do and what somebody. The other thing is they used to give it in little sugar cubes. A little bitty drop on a sugar cube, and you were in outer space for the next. There's another thing that you have to think about too is that during the time, the movies reflected. The movie industry was reflecting that type of stuff, because the biggest thing, and I can remember my brother Steve, who was quite a few years older than I is, using LSD and going to see the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. Okay, because that supposedly was supposed to really trip you out. There was some other meaning to that movie. I don't know what it is. Anyhow, drugs. I had a picture I wanted to bring with me. It was a lady that we arrested here about 6 months ago, and I've showed it to the staff here before. And I have two pictures, and it's of the same lady. And I asked him, if you had one to go out on a date with, which one would you go out with? 6 years ago, this lady was a beautiful, beautiful woman. I mean, absolutely gorgeous.
Now she uses speed.
Okay, she uses methamphetamine. She was arrested for this, and she's skinny, face all broken out. I mean, these are the types of things.
Before, after picture, Leslie's had to remove.
It is before, after 5 years, 5 years of meth use. The thing is that during Red Ribbon Week, and this is something that's done everywhere, we're not going to get to everybody on it. But if I always felt this way: if we get to one person, then it was well worth the time. I don't need to tell you guys about drugs. You already know. You probably know more than I do about some of the things. Okay. But there's some of the things that I need to tell you about drugs that you need to know, and I want to share with you some things. And I know I don't have much time because I don't want to keep you from breaking stuff. My brother, who was 2 years older than I am, is dead from drugs. My other brother was in Florida State Penitentiary he had 20 years to life for trying to bring back 2.5 tons of Colombia from Colombia. Marijuana. He got out of jail after serving 6 years. Listen up now, I gotta tell you. He got out after 6 years because he gave up, because when he was in the money doing drugs, he was buying homes, cars, jewelry, all that stuff. It cost him everything he had to the lawyers and then to the judges and stuff to get him back out of prison after only 6 years in state penitentiary. 2 years later, he died of a heart attack at age 50. He was 53. You don't think what this stuff does to you right now, because either it's a pure thing that you're getting in with people, and I know I've told all of you in here one time or another, we know you're going to party on the weekends. We know you're going to party with the people. Okay, we have lost 17 kids in 6.5 years out of Serrano, or I should say the Snow Line Joint Unified School District, due to accidents. Half of those were drug related. Alcohol, marijuana, it doesn't make any difference. When you use any type of drugs, and I also include alcohol as a drug, because alcohol is a drug. It's a legal drug if you're over 21, but underage drinking, that's a big thing. And I know, you know what, I did it, Everybody does it. One time or another, you're gonna experiment with some things. You need to be aware of your surroundings, the people that you're with, what you're doing, how you're doing it. And when you do these types of things, you should be locked into one place and you shouldn't be traveling around. You shouldn't do them in the first place at all. But there are some sensible things that you can do. Is there a concern for you that some of you will use drugs and continue to do so? Probably, yeah. Is there a concern at the school with your friends and staff members, teachers, proctors, everybody in the district? We care. We do care about everybody that's here. Okay? I especially do care. Okay? Because I have some kind of relationship with just about everybody in this room. Okay? And it drives me nuts to know that you guys are out partying and stuff like that, and then have the possibility to get behind the wheel of a car and driving. And I've told you all, when I catch you doing that one, you're going to go directly to jail. I'm not playing with you on it. Okay? Lots of you, and I know there's some of you that's in here that we come out to parties that you've been at, and we know about a lot of the parties. And I know that I've come out there along with some of the other officers, and we've seen you partying, and we had what we call the beer pour out party, where we we make you pour out all your beer. All you want. With the new laws that went into effect, every person over anywhere where there's underage drinking, every person that is over 21 years old goes to jail for contributing to delinquency of a minor. Okay, the blood alcohol content for you to be arrested is 0.0001.
Except behind the wheel.
That's anywhere, period. If you're underage, anybody under the age of 21, if you have the smell of alcohol in your breath, you are under the influence and you are arrested.
If you were like had NyQuil in the face.
Well, that's a possibility, but the thing is, NyQuil, that's right, and they have that, but we're talking about alcohol, because usually we're gonna find the alcohol in the car, okay? And that's what gets everybody every time is the alcohol in the car. You guys, you need to think, okay? I know, you're at school, you're gonna do these things, you need to think, do you really wanna do this, and what's the outcome, what's gonna happen down the road? I hear a lot of people say, well, Bert, he can't catch nothing, he doesn't do nothing. Okay. I've arrested quite a few kids up in Serrano that and out of this school that thought the same thing, because everybody always asks me when I bring Bert out of the classroom, did you find anything? I'm not going to tell you. If I did, I'm going to hold it to myself, and I'm going to be looking at that person. Bert's a pretty good dog. He's pretty smart, and he's very good at what he does. Okay, he's still the top dog in California. Okay, cut and dry. If he detects your bag or your presence, and a lot of times, when I have Bert set up and you walk through the door, Bert's going like this as people going out. Oh, if you see Bert go like this, he's telling me there's been something there. Now, I smoke. I'm a cigarette smoker. And what does Bert look for? When he looks for cigarettes too, because if he smells tobacco, he thinks of me, he's associating that with me, and therefore there must be something there. So I catch it with tobacco. If you're under the age of 18, you get popped for it if you have it on the campus. You guys are given, I give more breaks over here at this school than I do anywhere else, okay? Because it's not that I feel sorry for you guys, it's just that I know that you're here, you're at school, and you're trying. That's all I ask. Tobacco, for those of you who smoke, you have an option to drop them off before you come in here, so you don't have them on the campus and you don't get popped with it. There's no other school allows that anymore. Okay, you don't do it anymore? Oh, drop the stuff out somewhere else, don't do it here. Well, a little incident out here on the street there that really torqued me off that day, catching the drugs out there. I mean, that was an area that you guys could go to. I don't know if you got it back yet or not, but that's crazy. They don't ask for that much, I said, here's your corner, don't do drugs, we know you're gonna smoke over there, but don't do the drugs and stuff, but they decided to do it anyhow. So that's a slap in my face, so they closed it down. I said, okay, that's fine. On drug abuse, some of you are probably in families that there is drug abuse going on in your family. Or somebody who uses drugs big time. Or somebody who's selling drugs and all these types of things. Can you disassociate yourself with these people? Yes, you can. Do you need to narc them off? That's up to you. Okay? There was an article, I don't know if anybody saw the paper, that a girl wrote from Serrano, Crystal May. Anybody know her? Anybody see the article in the paper? Where she said that there's a large drug problem at the school and on the buses. These are things, now here's a kid that's saying that there is a problem, but then when I ask that person, I don't know what they're feeling. But if they think that it does, then by all means, it should be legal for them to use it. Okay? And the reason being is for that is because the biggest thing that they do nowadays, and have started in the late '80s, okay, like middle '80s, was that they said,
Would you like?
biofeedback. In other words, your body, cue yourself, you know, through the feedback and believing in yourself and all that stuff like that.
I was also reading this before, positive thoughts, like if you have positive thoughts, like if you concentrate on the positive aspects of life, then your life is going to be better. Like if you concentrate on everything that's negative about your life, then you're going to have a shitty life.
That's right, you are, because, and that's exactly what I said in here. I said, everybody's individual, what you are, is because of who you are, okay? And if you're negative all the time, die early. People that love life, enjoy, and get over the humps, live long, prosperous lives.
If you stress out on stress,
Don't go nowhere, Sarah, because we're gonna talk.
Well, I'll talk to you after you're done with Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah,
Yes.
you said marijuana should be when you're 21.
My own personal opinion, I think that
My
I think
personal
that fine.
opinion, it should be too. So if you found, say, you arrested me with marijuana, in your personal opinion, would you arrest me then?
Yes.
Because it is.
Yeah, because it's my job, okay, and right now.
like even with the stammers, do you
Unless you
never
have
stuck in your
a
pocket?
doctor's prescription for marijuana, and we have some people who have that, you know, for medical purposes, but they're not.
Isn't it good for pain?
But they're not to drive vehicles, they're not to drive vehicles, they're not to, he's taping all this.
Yes, I'm taking all this.
That's my own personal belief. I also believe some other drugs should be legalized too, but not for use in schools and stuff like that. Only for, not only, the only thing I'm saying for is that there used to be a lot of drugs that used to be illegal. Then they found out that would cure certain things, so they come under prescription stuff. The same thing with marijuana. What I'm saying is why I think it should be legalized is for the medical purposes. Okay? They have found that, yes, it does help in glaucoma. Glaucoma, it does, they've proven. Okay, there's still more research going on because there's some people that disbelieve that. Some people are dying from AIDS and they find comfort in marijuana. By all means, who are we to deny them?
And
You know,
people suffering
okay.
from eating disorders.
Okay, that's right. Okay, what I'm saying, but I'm, you know, you have to take everything in perspective. When I say my own belief it should be this, it's because of these things. Okay, and I always think that any kind of drugs that can help somebody with something should be legalized for them, not for the general population, for everybody just to get high or whatever.
Okay, say if he had a disease, he got AIDS, he was smoking marijuana, and you arrested him,
I would not arrest him for marijuana. Because if he was given a prescription for
but
it,
if he didn't have a prescription, you still arrest him.
I wouldn't arrest him, I would turn it over to narcotics. All narcotics outside of simple possession, we turn over to the narcotics guys. They work so much. Simple possession. Simple possession is less than an ounce of marijuana only. Now, any amount is not simple possession,
Oh, I
it's
know.
possession for size.
I'm personally myself, I'm a personal user, I'm totally for marijuana, I understand, but I'm not for the avid use of marijuana just for fun, I'm for it for expansion, for learning purposes, because I truly believe that humans have the capacity to go beyond what we're taught, and we can use our mind, like we use computers nowadays for communicating, but we can, there's a better way to use your mind. You can implant thoughts through your mind. I believe in meditation, I believe in
Okay, meditation, what is your nationality?
I'm Mexican.
Mexican, okay. Did I talk to you the other day? No? Okay. No, because I talked to another guy about money when you.
No, but see, now I know, now I understand the speed. Speed is in all, like, speed, heroin, and all other types of drugs. Now, I've never personally done them, or I don't know about it, but still, I've seen the effects, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I know people who do it, and I've seen what it does to them, and I don't like it, because it truly does destroy the person.
And it takes away from who they are.
It really does, and I don't like it personally myself.
I find most people that have beliefs like you do, you know, that in meditation and being, you know, one with yourself and all that stuff like this, they don't inject, they do not inject, foreign substances into their body, okay? That includes marijuana.
Well, marijuana, injecting marijuana?
Injecting as in taking it in. Taking it in, you're taking in a foreign substance into your body.
I also believe that marijuana
Mexican checked back
Right. It's also
with the other ones that introduced it. Actually,